It is Sunday, the 21st of May, 2017. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal in my alternative spiritual practice of protesting against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy. And I was in the middle of a monologue about how a SPVM sergeant detective had threatened me with arrest on criminal charges in the summer of 2010, and what happened after that. I guess I'll go in brief, but essentially the camera shut off without my knowledge at some point, so a certain amount of what I said was not recorded. So we'll repeat ourselves, but we're pretty well wrapping up this protest, so I don't think I'm going to say as much as I had said that didn't get recorded, unfortunately. But essentially, this sergeant detective threatened me with arrest, and not only arrest, but a psychological, psychiatric assessment, done by the police. We won't repeat everything because I think most of it's already been covered. Essentially, though, what happened is that I obtained a video of him repeating his this kid's saying what? Seeing the picket signs. Essentially, he repeated his assessment that I'm, mentally ill, in an encounter some months later outside the Unitarian Church of Montreal that was recorded on video. So now I actually had video evidence, that corroborated, my version of events of what happened, during the meeting with him earlier in June or July. I'm pretty sure it was June of 2010. I'm pretty sure it was June. That gave me, basically enough evidence to bring a police ethics commission complaint against him. I could have brought a complaint against him without that evidence, but obviously with the video evidence of him saying the same thing that he had said, some months earlier in the summer of 2010, that corroborated my version of events of what happened. We brought the complaint against him, me with Mouvement Action Justice, and it went to conciliation, which is the first step in the process. So this guy's giving me this, sock puppet talking mouth kind of thing. So I guess that's a negative reaction to my protest. Basically saying, I'm full of shit, I think is probably what he's trying to say. So that's 2 negative reactions today to at least 5 positive ones. So that's higher than average because it's normally, as I said, on the whole, on the average spread over time, it's more like 1 or 2 negative reactions out of 10 people who react in one way or the other. Most of them are positive, supportive, understanding, and so on. But there's always willfully ignorant assholes who don't really know what the issues are, who try to pretend I shouldn't be protesting or my protest has no validity. Anyway, getting back to the detective in question. We finally had a conciliation meeting with the Police Ethics Commission, and during that meeting, he essentially acknowledged that he'd taken things a bit too far. He understood that he was, there's only so much. This is the crazy thing. Like, these things are supposed to be confidential, so basically, I don't know how much I can say about what really happened, but put it this way, the conciliation went in such a way that I accepted it. If it had not gone in a way that I considered to be acceptable, I wouldn't have accepted it. In other words, I could have taken it to the next level and had it brought before the tribunal or whatever it is that they have to determine things. But essentially, it went in such a way that the behavior was acknowledged as being not good behavior kind of thing, and that's that. So yeah, we're putting away the picket signs here. Just gonna put some back in their protective sleeves. But yeah, we're done for today. There's actually quite a bit more to talk about in terms of police interventions. Yeah, there's actually, since 2010, there's been a fair number during 2010 and up until recently. There were, quite a few, and a fair number of them were basically police officers overstepping their authority and not respecting my constitutionally guaranteed rights, and quite frankly just looking incredibly stupid in some cases, incompetent and unprofessional and just foolish in some of the interventions. But today's intervention, which was brief and the first in over a year, went very well indeed, and so I have zero complaints about how that police intervention went. In theory, I could complain that it happened at all. In other words, that it was not necessary to have the police stop by and have a chat with me today. But I think it was, fair enough. And one of the aspects of it that I think does justify it as being fair enough is that, the police officer, for one thing, he in no way contested anything that I was doing. He in no way, tried to pretend that I couldn't write chalk slogans, or I couldn't have freestanding picket signs, or this and that. He in no way contested what I was doing. He just asked me, am I aware of the rules? And I said, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know most of the rules by now. But the thing that I think did justify it, in my mind anyway, is that in addition to that, in addition to him, verifying that everything was okay, he did say, that you can call us if necessary. In other words, if there's a problem at your end of things, you can call us, which I think is, a very good thing. There have been times where I've been assaulted. There have been times when I've had my picket sign stolen, and so on. And there's been one or two occasions where I did call the police. But there's been quite a number of occasions where I could have and maybe should have called the police and didn't. So it was kind of nice that he reminded me, don't hesitate to call us if there's a problem and you think police should be involved. So on that note, I think the intervention was quite justified as a reminder to me that, hey, you can call us too if you need to be. Anyway, it went very well. The guy gets top points in my opinion, and I do like, when the police behave well, I do like to say so, because I obviously want to point out the bad behavior, but I also want to point out the good behavior, the professional behavior, the polite behavior, and so on, to encourage it. I want to see more polite, professional police interventions when police actually do intervene in my protest or anyone else's, and I want to see fewer, abuses of power and overly authoritarian bad attitude on the part of the cops and that. So, chalk slogans. I think I might rewrite one of my chalk slogans, or even two of them, but not right away. Might come back later. But for now, we're just going to pretty well wrap up this protest. We're done. Got one slogan still here. The other was erased, and I got that on video, which is nice. So yeah, we're